Hey everybody, you know who? I'm free. I would do the hand signal, but I've got my phone in my hand, and as you can see, we are in a hotel. Oh man, what a hell ride that was, man. So I guess I'll start by first of all thanking you guys for all the positive comments on the last video that I did. And you have no idea, like I've got pretty thick skin, man, but just all the negativity that I get all the time and all the just backbiting and snickering, it doesn't really phase me, but at the same time, it really does phase me. You know what I mean? Like that, it kind of hurts my feelings, and sometimes I just feel like taking my blanket and go home like a big boy. You heard me? But no, not really. I do thank you guys for the positive feedback on that last video. It's hard to put yourself out there like that. I mean, really, the flat Earth was a hard thing to come out with, even though there was a couple people already talking about it. I mean, that was a hard thing to come out with. Transpocalypse, not so much hard. I mean, that was kind of a big deal. And there's other things that it's hard to stick your neck out for the truth. But when it comes to stuff that's personal to you, that's difficult, and I appreciate the positive feedback on that. I love you guys. I mean, flat Earth fan for life, for real. So I've been locked up I got locked up on the 29th of August, right before my wife's 29th birthday. She's sitting right there. It's beautiful. So I missed her birthday a few years ago when I was on 33rd Street in Sanford, Johnny Polk Correctional Facility. I missed Christmas and New Year's. So sometimes you always got to miss holidays, right? But so I'm out. I'm free. Still half-ass homeless, but thanks to a couple of you guys out there answered the call, and hopefully I'll be able to start repaying some of this stuff, man. And, if the Most High wills it, I'd love nothing more than to, well, I would say to have a lot of money, but if I was to ever have a lot of money, I'd give it away, honestly, because it's debt. You guys already know. If you don't know, check out Creature from Jekyll Island. I've got the audiobook playlist on the channel. It's been up there for a while. It's like 19 chapters. Each chapter is like an hour of reading, so it took quite a while to put that up there. It was a great book. If you're not into audiobooks, man, the first chapter is really all you need to know. The rest of it's just meat. I mean, it's all gravy, but yeah. Anyway, so I'm going off on a tangent here. So what happened was, so I've been married for 20 years. Period. End of sentence. End of chapter. End of book. Game, set, match. 40 love. No, really. So I've been married to the same woman 20 years, and sometimes we have spats. I mean, I don't like knuckle brawl with her or anything, but when things start getting upset, I walk away. And as you guys already know, I was kicking methadose, which I've been taking under doctor's orders for quite a while, and I kicked that in jail. I'm still clean right now. I haven't even smoked a joint, but I did go get a beer, and so what happened was. So the store in Woodruff off of 101 is a little store across from Circle K. The owner of the store is Mike, a tall turban Mike. He's a sheik, so he's like a Hindu, but they're like atheist Hindus or whatever. I had credit with him, and I went in the store and I told him, look, man, I'm gonna grab this golden beer. And actually, Mike wasn't working. His nephew Sid was working, and I told him. I'm gonna grab this gold. Just one single is a single like 18-ounce can bottle. It's like a bottle can of Coors Banquet Gold. And I said, I'm either gonna do this or I'm gonna go murder somebody because I was upset. Okay, and I'm no murderer, but it's like I had to walk away from the situation and just go drink a beer. And I actually poured some of it out at the graveyard. She's like, I'm blaming this shit. I mean, no, I'm not blaming anything on anybody. I'm being honest here. So, like honestly, I walk away. Like I stand alone and I walk away sometimes. Sometimes it's always better just to walk away. And so that's what I did. Fast forward a couple of days, and I got no reason to lie. One single can of beer is $1.37 can of beer. I walked out of the store with it, and I told the guy I'm doing it. And he said, you better not. I said, if I'm going to walk out of the store with this beer, I'm going to murder somebody. He's like, you better not. I said, I know. That's why I'm walking out of the store. And I said, look, if you want to call the police, call them. And I sat out in the car, and nobody showed up, so I left, went to the graveyard. And drank half of it and poured half of it out, honestly. So fast forward a couple of days, I went to Zaxby's 101 in Woodruff, and I got a chicken sandwich and fries. Ate half of it, and then I drove around like there's a courthouse or something, a municipal building or something. There's a lot of police there, and they saw me drive around. And I waved at them, and then they followed me and pulled me over, and they hit me with DUS. DUS. It's driving under suspension. So and also petty larceny, right? For the beer thing, there was a report, and they asked me about it, and I told them the truth. I said I have credit with Mike. Sid must not have known it, and so I owe Mike $1.37. So DUS. So here's the kicker with that. I've never had South Carolina driver's license. So how can you suspend something that I don't have? That'd be like if I'm walking down the street with my shirt off, right? And I'm wearing the rock the Bengal. Obey the Bengal. If you're walking down the street with your shirt off and someone says, hey, I've got a coat hanger, let me hang your shirt up for you, let me suspend your shirt. It's like, well, I don't even have a shirt. How are you going to suspend what I don't have? So that's basically the charge that they hit me with, was driving under suspension, not DUI, DUS, and petty larceny. And so, of course, the punishment for that is cruel and unusual punishment, of course. That's what the judges always do, right? So the first thing they did was they stole my car. That's Grand Theft Auto. They towed it away without my permission. They took my cell phone and started unlocking it. That's kidnapping if you take someone's phone. Then they put me in handcuffs, treated me like an animal. I was sexually assaulted on the way in by a CO. And this is process, but what it is so when you go into certain jails, and most jails, honestly, 99% of them, they force you to strip in front of another man against your wishes, against your volition. And they make you basically spread eagle and drop your nuts to the floor. They force you on their so-called authority to take a cold shower. And then they squirt delousing shampoo in your hair. Even though my hair guaranteed still smelled like coconut oil. I had just taken a couple of baths that day, and I washed my hair with coconut oil shampoo, for real. And so they did all of that on the way in against my wishes, against my volition. And actually some of that poison got in my eye. Whether that happened or not, that's sexual assault with a deadly. Okay, that's a Class A felony. That's hard time right there. If you were to steal someone's car, kidnap them, put them in handcuffs, sexual assault with a deadly, and we're just getting started here. You'd be under the jail for like 25 to life, like for real. That's so. These motherfuckers, they're parading around acting as if they are justice while they are the definition and epitome of evil and injustice. And not the COs per se, but it's the process. It's literally spiritual wickedness in high places. It really is. And of course, the inmates, God love them, they're so used to this, or not used to it. It happens to everybody, so why would you bother making a sting about it? Well, so that's just the beginning. There's certain laws that are the Most High's laws. There's natural laws, and there's names for them. One of them is Magna Carta, and the essence of Magna Carta is you can't own flowing water. You can't own free tree, which is stuff that grows from the ground from the Most High, like seeds that are planted grow. Men maybe plant the seeds, maybe the wind plants the seeds, but the Most High, creator of all things, makes them grow. And you can't cut people off from that. That's Magna Carta, just in the bare essence bones of it. But Magna Carta goes way deeper than that. And for the entire time that I was in there, from the 29th until the 23rd, so pert near a month, like right going on a month, might as well say a month, never got to go outside, except once when I went to court, and the magistrate gave me time served, and then I went back in there for 2 weeks. That's besides the point. So they broke Magna Carta right there. Also, you've got habeas corpus, where the punishment is supposed to fit the crime. So my crime was petty larceny, $1.37 can of beer plus tax, where I did have credit with the store owner. Okay, so technically my punishment is I owe Mike $1.50, and I've got credit with Mike. Okay, but Sid didn't know that, and he actually went ahead and filed a police report on it, which is like, honestly, if I was working at a store and you walked out of the store with a can of beer, I mean, I don't give a fuck. I'd give you like, yeah, bro, take it. It's just beer, whatever. I make money hand over fist off customers, and you come in here all the time, take it. What? That's just me, right? I'd be a bad capitalist, right? I suck at capitalism for sure, but so my punishment should be I owe Mike $1.50. Fine, okay. And then driving under suspended for a license I don't even have. I mean, I have license in Florida and North Carolina. Actually, no. North Carolina is a little different. They pulled me over and gave me tickets for driving without a North Carolina motor operator's vehicles license or whatever, like 5 times in a month, and you can't suspend what you don't have. So if you're a free traveler and you don't basically register, the etymology of register is regis, like king. You're basically signing yourself over to the king. Anyway, off on a tangent. The other one that they broke is Sestui KV. For what purpose do you operate? So they're not supposed to be able to get in between you and your livelihood. right? So how do you make your living? For what purpose do you operate? They're really not allowed by the Most High's law to cut you off from your livelihood. And at the same time, they expect you to come up with money while you're locked in a sardine can. So let's back up a little bit. So when they pulled me over, I was literally right around the corner from where I've been staying. And I had my shoes on with no socks because I was only going to be gone like 10 minutes. And so long story short, they got me in before the whole shower thing. They have you in what's called the pit. And then I took my shoes off because I don't want my feet to smell. I mean, I'm Greek and I have oily feet, right? I do. My feet stink sometimes, and I don't want that really rubbing off on my shoes with no socks on. So I took my shoes off, and they put me in a sardine can for that, which is like a freezer, and you're by yourself with no mat, nowhere to sit, and it's cold. Did I mention it's cold? And they put my shoes outside of the room with no socks on, freezing. So I took a roll of toilet paper that was in there and fashioned some boots out of it. Well, that's contraband, right? So they actually put me in isolation, which is another sardine can for a week. Never even got a phone call for a week, right? So they're breaking that law too. You're supposed to get a phone call, right? Didn't get one. Never got a phone call. As a matter of fact, I had to borrow someone else's PIN number like 3 weeks later to get my first phone call out. So that's kind of besides the point. But so I was in isolation for a week. That's cruel and unusual punishment for sure. And then they moved me to another cell where it's like a one-man cell with a double bunk on it, a triple bunk in it, and then a mat on the floor. So 4 dudes in a one-man cell with one toilet that you can flush twice a day, right? They say it's twice an hour, but no, it's like once in the morning, once at night. So that's forcing me to be around not flatulence, but bile or whatever. It's boiling excrement, right? Forcing me to be around excrement. And the people that are locked up, honestly, they're all good people. Like that, even people that try to act hard, and there's a lot of hard motherfuckers in there for real, but they're decent people. Like, and even the COs, man, you got like some of them are dicks and they have to play that role, but a lot of good people in there for real. It's a sad situation. Off on another tangent. Let me take a sip of this mocha frappuccino, man. I do dog on McDonald's, and I'll tell you what, they got good coffee. Their frappes are good. Like 10 hours later, it's still cold. How does that work? Good. So then, like, and also the whole toilet flushing thing. There they are breaking Magna Carta again. I mean, you can't take people away from flowing water. That's like, we're living, breathing creatures. You have to have fresh air and flowing water. I mean, even murderers on death row get an hour outside at least every day. If you're in prison on a 20-year stint, a lot of times you're out. You can go outside all day long if you want to. Not in Spartanburg County. And just for the record, my papu, my grandfather, and his father came from Kalamata. Kalamata is an island in Greece, and they're famous for their olives. I love Kalamata. I eat them things all day long with the pits, please. Just don't bite down too hard. Kalamata is part of the kingdom of Sparta, so my people hail from Sparta. And I'll tell you what, the people running Spartanburg County Correctional Facility, if they're Spartans, then I'm Mary Poppins' toenails, for real. Whoever's running that joint it's a chicken shit operation. I mean, you wouldn't believe. I will say the food's pretty good, though. There's some good people out there, don't know who they are, donating food to help out the brothers, and, God bless them, for real. Because the slop that they try to feed you, we're talking bologna for breakfast, bologna for lunch, bologna for dinner. And if it wasn't for the people that were bringing that food on a weekly or every other day basis, it would have been way worse. So they're breaking all God's laws, man. I mean, they really are. And talk about you can't get laundry done in there. I wore the same pair of socks and the same jumpsuit for like a week and a half. Okay, so then after the sardine can, and they moved me to another pod, then they moved me to what's called the annex. And I correct me if I'm wrong, I don't have my Google available, but I think that the sort of etymology for annex is cut loose, like you're about to get cut loose or you get to cut loose. So what the annex is, it's basically a meat locker where there's a divider, and this is just one section I was in. 45 guys on one side and 45 guys on the other side. It's like a dorm. It's like one big open dorm. And on our side, there's 2 showers. Only one of them worked. The one on the right worked, but you'd have hot water in the morning for like 10 minutes, and that's it. Then everybody else is taking cold showers unless you're just really lucky or something. They did finally fix that like the last couple days. But so they're not only that, there's 3 toilets for 45 guys, and only one of them worked properly. The other one, when you flush it, it would spit water all over you from the flushing button. I mean, it's bad. So there you are, and I guarantee you, out of the site I was in, 45 dudes, there must have been 10 master plumbers in there for sure, at least one. So there they are breaking Sestui KV again. For what purpose do you operate? And they've got the stupidest rules, like they tell you when you can shower, they tell you when, not so much when you can piss, but basically it's like it's a mess, man. It really is a mess. But like really, if they're gonna have people, if they're gonna force 90 guys in the same room together and all sharing the same shitter or whatever, and excuse the French, this is probably not for children, or maybe it is. Don't go to jail, for real, especially not in Spartanburg County, for real. I've been to a lot of jails over the years, and this motherfucker is probably the worst I've ever been to. There was one in Alabama when I was getting extradited, but we're not going to go there. This is a long time ago. But so anyway, so they break Sestui KV because, like, really, they could have plumbers in there fixing this stuff. Their drywaller's pretty good, but he must have learned how to drywall in New York or something, because they had just drywall on all the plumbing fixtures, so that stuff's rotting. Schistomycin City. They've got blankets for water catches. I mean, it's a mess, man. It is a mess in there, dude. But again, like, there's brotherhood in there. Like, honestly, I mean, the people in there probably all wanted to kill me because I'm a mouthy flat earther, and you don't really want to talk about flat earth in there. I was surprised though. A lot of the people in there knew all. I mean, they didn't know all about flat earth, but they knew. I mean, it's out there. I mean, trust me. If you want to check the pulse of the country or the world, go to jail and talk about flat earth and see what the response is. Because a few years ago, I guess it was 2018, it was right after the Great American Eclipse. It must have been around, it was December of 2018, I reckon, when I missed Christmas and New Year's. Tried to talk about flat earth in there, and they're like, no, because don't you know gravity is caused by the earth spinning? And I'm like, well, no, you've got that backwards. Centrifugal force goes the other way. So they're like, no, it's like, you couldn't even bring it up. But the people were pretty receptive to the whole thing this time, which was amazing to me. I mean, that's, again, if you want to check the pulse of how flat earth is doing in the world, go to jail. Also, transpocalypse, man. Like, some people think that the tennis playing sisters are sexy as hell, and half of them are like, no, those are definitely dudes, agreed. Like, right out the gate. Michelle Obama, too. Like, the truth is getting out there. The Most High is working, so praise God for that. You heard? So, man, and I could keep going on and on. I mean, they're breaking all low battery. My phone's about to die. Wow. 15%. Oh, I got 15% remaining. That's fine. So these people are breaking all of the Most High's natural laws. And really, it comes down to this: do unto others as you would have them do unto you. They're breaking that one like left and right, willy-nilly, like Milli Vanilli, dude, for real. And that was funny. I'm going to have to write that one down. I actually wrote some verses down in there. I'm not going to sing them tonight. Maybe later. I think they're good. So they're breaking all the Most High's laws and parading around as if they are justice, man. That's calling evil for good and good for evil. That's double-minded, head up your butthole stuff, man. Just completely ass backwards. And, the COs, my mom was a CO in Seminole County, Florida for a long time, and I don't really know her that good. I kind of got to know her a little bit around the Great American Eclipse time, but not really. I mean, I kind of remember from when I was a kid, but never really knew her. And it was good to just have coffee with my mom in the morning a couple times, That was pretty cool. But so my mom was a CO, is the point. She was for 20-something years and retired as a CO. And my mom's pretty cool. She likes to drink wine and smoke a joint and eat mushrooms and shit, too. I mean, mom's cool. And then her husband, Steve, God rest his soul, Steve Reichert, he was a Green Beret, and then he was a police officer on the beat, and then he was a CO. And he's dead and gone, so, double jeopardy on that. But he was bringing drugs into that bitch. I mean, excuse my language, but Steve was cool. So there's cool COs out there. They're just people trying to make a living. I could never do that job, honestly, because I have to sleep at night. By the way, I couldn't sleep worth a damn in there, man. Like, yeah, it's hard to sleep on a steel thing, especially, and I broke my foot, too. Like, for real, let me show you this. I got the cast and everything. Like, there's my broke foot. I had to go to the hospital because... So what happened there, I was on the third top bunk, 41-year-old dude with like 18, 19-year-olds on the bottom bunks, and then you have assigned bunks, and there was people all around my bunk. They were just getting ready to pass out commissary, which is where you get you get like supplies from the outside ordered, like chips and soups and tasty cakes and Tylenol PMs if you have money on your books. So everybody was rowdy, getting ready to get canteen passed out, and I couldn't go down the ladder because there was people around them. Those ladders coming off the bunks are pretty dangerous anyways. And so I tried to come off the back of the bunk. I missed the rail and just landed like flat-footed on my leg, and I fractured my heel bone. Like you would say Achilles heel, but that's the tendon. It's like the bottom of your heel. That thing's fractured. And I'll tell you what, I've broken my collarbone. I've broken bones in my life. That thing is a murder mother. That hurts. It still hurts. So when that happened, it didn't really swell up and bruise too much immediately, and so they called me a liar. Like, first of all, don't call me a liar. I speak the truth. I'll speak the truth even if it's better for me to tell a white lie. I stand up for what I believe to be right. Even if I'm wrong, I'll stand up for what I believe to be right. And if I know something to be right, I'm going to stand up for it. You can shoot me in the face. I don't care. Dirt me, bro. Like, for real. But I'm going to stand up for the truth. So anyway, so they called me a liar. They wouldn't even give me an ibuprofen. And then finally, like after a couple days, and I would take my cast off and show you, but it got real black and blue, like pooling blood in the bottom of my foot, and then pooling blood coming up to my toes. And finally, you have to keep getting requests. So that's another thing. So they're even breaking the Hippocratic Oath in there, a couple ways. They put you in front of a nurse and act like they're giving you medical care. And really what they do is they look at you funny, they tell jokes about you behind your back, they really just assholes you, medical stuff, basically. But they call just what I said, doing absolutely nothing medical stuff. And so that's breaking Hippocratic Oath. Then also, Miss Deborah, who came over from the hospital to finally actually look at my foot, she prescribed me 3 times a day ibuprofen, and they only ever gave it to me twice a day. So they broke her Hippocratic Oath. Miss Deborah was the truth. I mean, she did what she could with what she had. Okay, she put an ace bandage on it, and that helped, man. I'm telling you, that thing hurt, bro. You'd be surprised how much you use your heel. Like the bottom of your foot, it's an amazing thing, right? You walk around on your feet all day, and they don't really hurt. I mean, yeah, sure, they get sore, whatever, but could you imagine walking around on your knuckles all day? Your knuckles would be bloody by the time you got done walking around. You know what I mean? So your feet are kind of a wonder. There's like a lot of nerves in your feet, and I guess it's like a feedback loop where it bypasses pain. But if you fracture something in there, that bitch hurts, dude. So anyway, long story short, yeah, they even broke Miss Deborah's Hippocratic Oath, and nothing against her. She did a great job. Like honestly, even just someone who gives a damn looking at it and wrapping your foot, that helps a lot. It's just like moral support, believe it or not, is a very powerful thing. So again, thank you guys for the positive comments on that last one. I do appreciate it. So just really, man, that's what I want to say. Now, here's the thing. So from what I gather, and I don't know how accurate it is, but I was told that they get $200 a day for every inmate that they have in there, and they're building a new courthouse there, right? So if there's 90 guys, and just in this one section, there's supposedly 900 in Spartanburg County at a time. I don't know, but I guess, that's coming from the CEO. So 900 people times $200 a day. Do the math. They're making money, bro. They're making money. So really, there's guys in there for nothing burgers, dude. Nothing burgers. Been sitting there 3 months waiting to see a judge. There's another one. You're supposed to have a right to a speedy trial, man. So here I am. Basically, long and short is class action lawsuit, man. For real. Class action lawsuit. Punishment's supposed to fit the crime. You can't go breaking God's laws and call yourselves the law. Especially not in Spartanburg, dude. Like, what? In my town. Really. There's a few Spartans around here, but that chicken shit operation goat rope they're running there called Spartanburg County, D.C., man, if those motherfuckers are Spartans, then, I'm the Pope, and I'm also the Wicked Witch of the West and everything else, too, like, and a bag of chips, and with the tomatoes and the avocados and the whole nine. Like, I'm a taco supreme if they're Spartans, for real. But again, we're not talking about the people that are there working. I mean, they're following orders from a computer screen, and they don't necessarily salute the computer screen, but these motherfuckers salute the computer screen. Like, they're just following orders, like NPCs all the way. But if you can just break the ice with them, they're just people, man. And honestly, again, this is something that I find time and time again. When you're locked up in a cage with 90 guys or whatever, 45 guys on this side, 45 on that side with one shitter, you'd be surprised, like how many good people there are locked up in there for nothing. waiting to see a judge. But if you don't have someone on the outside, or if you don't remember your phone numbers, you're pretty much fucked. Another one they broke. I have to write all this down. I could make a list a mile long about this, but they were supposed to give me paperwork to request a public pretender. Never got that. Never even got to talk to a lawyer. So it's a straight mess, dude. And I broke my heel in there. I definitely have a lawsuit. I'm not going to sue them just for my own personal gain, but I will sue them to kick off a class action lawsuit should the Most High will it, and should it be within my power to achieve that, if I want to spend the energy on it. But it's not just about me. Again, there's people in there for just stupid shit, man. Been sitting in there for months for nothing. So it's... these people done fucked up. And I know Spartanburg County is not the only one. This is how it is everywhere. On the other hand, before I went into Spartanburg County, they took me to Greenville County for a night, and I talked to a couple guys that got popped for Grand Theft Auto, charge, this active charge that just happened, Grand Theft Auto, and got time served after less than 24 hours, time served out the door. Because you've got privately run prisons or jails for profit, and then you have publicly run jails that are basically on the tit, the government tit. And the ones that are for profit, by the way, Spartanburg County is also a sort of a federal annex, so you have people doing fed time in there, or whatever. So they're all about that money, man. And I'm here to tell you, their whole system, and I can prove it, but I'm not going to try to prove it here, has been hacked and cloned. They don't even have control of the computers that they're saluting, right? I mean, it is a mess, dude. It's a straight mess. But so there's that. I've got a lot of content that I've been right in the middle of, and clearly, they don't let you bring your computer in there. They don't even let you bring a toothpick in there. They don't even let you bring a hair tie in there. Another thing they broke, they took me before a magistrate, and it's kind of complicated, but again, I had 2 charges, driving under suspension and petty larceny. The magistrate gave me time served for driving under suspension, and I thought I was going home that day. No, but you're being held for the other one. Why didn't they do that? It's a mess, dude. Right to a speedy trial. If that's a speedy trial, then I'm Speedy Gonzalez. Andre, if I'm Speedy Gonzalez, then I'm also Mexican Hitler and a Nazi jumping bean and everything else. I'm not even kidding. I'm not getting racial about it, but God almighty, dude. And there's dudes been sitting in there for months and months and months. And I think the worst part about it, really, honestly, is just not being able to go get fresh air. We're talking, dude, that place is a ticking time bomb. And honestly, I'm surprised, how decent the inmates are in there. Good people, man. And it's not about black and white. It really ain't. Panda bear, bro, for real. Honestly, I'll just come out and say it. I get along a lot better with a lot of black people than I do with white people. And I'm not just saying that because I got blue eyes and blonde hair. There's a lot of white people I fucking don't care for at all. I still love them to death, love my brothers, but I'd rather chill with my boys, dude, for real. I get along with everybody. At least I try. So I just give credit where credit's due. I'm kind of rambling. Mina's over there going, yeah, she's gross. You can hear her going, I love her to death. She's not feeling too well. She's had a rough time too. It's been a rough time. So long and short, we've still got our car, we've still got our dog, I've got my guitar, and we're homeless. I'm staying in a hotel because this is the first hot bath I've had in over a month. It's good to be out, man. And there's if I had my druthers, man, and I still need to get into my Coinbase account. I've been locked out of my Coinbase account for 5 years, and so if I can get in there and I've got money, which maybe I do, maybe I don't. I don't know what I've got and what it's worth. I've got several different coins types. But honestly, I'd bond every one of those motherfuckers out in a heartbeat. I really would. And really, it's just such hypocrisy, man. How do you expect somebody? You cut them off from their livelihood. You take away their communication. You cut them off from free tree. You cut them off from Magna Carta. You break habeas corpus all day long. You break Sestui KV. Break all of God's laws. And then how are you supposed to bond yourself out? Or what about the guys that are in there for failure to pay child support, man?
Take care of your family.
Well, yeah, you take care of your family, Mina. But so there was this one guy I was in there with. His name Cody. He was supposed to go to court on the 19th, but he was locked up in a sardine can in there, and they made him miss his court date. So he had a bench warrant for failure to appear on a child support thing Because these dumbass motherfuckers, and I'll tell you what, them CEOs, as much as I do kind of praise them, it takes like 62 of them to count to 5. I mean, these motherfuckers are NPCs all day long. Like, and excuse me, I'm cussing like a sailor. That's how I talk. Okay, if you don't like it, change the channel. When I do videos where I have the time to type it out and do a presentation, I'm not gonna drop cuss bombs in there. But if I'm a little upset, I get upset just talking about this. I mean, it's criminal, dude. It is literally the criminal justice system. It's all about mammon. So we're at 30 minutes. So here we go. Here comes the e-begging part. We're homeless. So here's the good news. I had a PayPal working capital loan. I've been paying it off. Every dollar I get through PayPal, they get 30 cents of it, or a third, 30%, 30 cents on the dollar. So I've been paying that off over time, and I've got like now $20 left to pay on it. So hopefully I can get another PayPal working capital loan. I should be able to. They've already done 2. I thought this thing had already been paid, so I might not even have to e-beg. Wouldn't y'all love it? And by the way, I love to work, man. I love to work. I just don't have any ID, and it's hard to get work if you don't have ID. One of my family members, my close family members, stole my ID, my social security card, and my birth certificate a few years ago, and sold my identity to Venezuelans. Which, that's cool, man. But you should have at least broke me off. Didn't even break me off, didn't ask my permission, nothing, just did it, right? And so it's very difficult for me to get my ID. Now I could go to North Carolina and get it, but see, without your social security card, and if you don't have I don't even have my physical expired ID. Like, I've got a picture of it on my phone. It's very difficult to get ID. I mean, it's a process, but of course, when they process you into jail, and by the way, the pictures they take in jail are not flattering, so whatever. But when they process you into jail, they just take your fingerprint. They can confirm it. They know, like, they've got your DNA too, especially if you're a convicted felon like I am. Yeah, I had a Subutex in my pocket back in 2018, so that makes me a felon. Wow, how crazy is that? But yeah, they can do it. And then the hospital that you go to, that on the outside, they know exactly who I am just by my social security number and pull up my picture. They know who I am. But not at the DMV. No, you got to jump through hoops, man. And so they make it very difficult to get your license if you're, not all the way like floating on clouds.